Hello, hello, Gini Trask here for lightingwarehouse.com. In this video, we're going to guide you through choosing and installing a transformer for outdoor lighting. Let's light your way. Some people find this silver box a little scary and confusing. So today I hope to demystify this thing. For this video, we're looking at a pretty standard low voltage lighting transformer setup. Most transformers look very similar to this, but their integrated or add-on features can vary greatly. In a nutshell, a transformer steps down the electrical current coming from the electrical system of your home or business to a lower voltage that can power your landscape lighting. And the voltage is safe enough that you don't need to be an electrician to install the fixtures and wiring. Just exercise a little caution. Only ever plug it into a GFCI outlet. And then the transformer is basically like any other household appliance. It shouldn't be scary. The transformer's other main function is to turn your lighting system on and off with a simple switch inside. But there are several options that can give you a little more control when it comes to flipping that switch, such as photocells or timers. Some transformers come equipped with these options, or you can add them yourself. Some transformers even have integrated controllers that can completely automate your lighting. If that's a feature that you're interested in, then keep that in mind when you're browsing transformers. The transformer will need to plug into a GFCI outlet. That will be the first determining factor in your transformer's location. Locate that outlet outside your home and your transformer will have to be within reach of it. While transformers are made to be outdoor devices and can handle rain, it's still a good idea not to place it where it will be directly hit by sprinklers or under a downspout. Something to be aware of if you're using a photocell with your transformer. The way the photocell works is that it reads the daylight and controls your lighting accordingly. So you'll need to install the transformer in an area where the photocell can get a good reading of the daylight. If something like a tree or an awning is blocking enough of the daylight, the photocell will think it's nighttime and turn on your lighting. Or if there's a light hitting it from, say, a porch light or a security light, it might think it's daytime and turn off your lights. And that'd be kind of annoying. If your best location is going to eliminate the option of a photocell, you can go with a standard timer like this, which operates according to the time of day you set. You could have your lights come on at something like 5 p.m. and go off at 11. This would be a simple way to give you a predictable schedule. There are also these great things called astronomical timers, which know when the sun sets and rises in your area, and can be programmed to turn on and off based on those events, including settings like turning off so many hours after sunset, or turning back on an hour before sunrise. Moving on to the specs of your potential transformer. The wattage of the transformer is an important number to pay attention to. You'll need to know the total wattage of the lights you'll be running before choosing the transformer. Once you have that number, the rule of thumb is to add 20% to that in order to have a cushion to account for variances in bulb output and fluctuations. For example, if your lights total up to 100 watts, then you add 20%. That would give you 120 watts needed for your transformer. A commonly sold transformer is a 150 watt transformer, which would do nicely for that scenario. But there are also transformers for 300 and even 900 watts. If there's a possibility that you may expand the number of fixtures you want in the future, then you should purchase with that in mind. As far as power goes, you get a lot from a little with LED bulbs. They are the most commonly used type of lamp these days. They draw less power, have more options, and last longer than the old standard halogen bulbs. Many times you'll find transformers with single 15-volt tap. However, there are transformers that have multiple taps that might be anywhere from 10 to 15 volts. Multiple taps can be useful if your light design has a long run that can be split into separate runs to keep the voltage draw off any one chain of fixtures. Hopefully, the location of your GFCI outlet allows the transformer to be within a reasonable distance of the light fixtures. The longer the run of your cable to your lights, the more likely the risk of voltage drops, which could cause some halogen lights to appear dimmer than others, or would cause LED lamps to flash. Now, LED bulbs are so efficient, the average distance shouldn't be a problem, but you'll want to avoid putting the transformer several hundred feet away from your farthest light to avoid any amperage issues. Once you have the GFCI outlet located, it's a good idea to test that outlet before you purchase the transformer. Not just to see if it works, but to make sure it has enough voltage to power your needs. You can use a voltmeter or a multimeter. Holding the probes by the insulated handles, you're going to stick the black probe into the larger slot, that's the neutral, and the red probe into the smaller slot, that's the hot. you should get a reading around 120 volts. If it falls below 110 volts, you might have problems powering all your outdoor lights. In that case, you should have an electrician look into it. So transformers are fairly heavy, so you'll need a sturdy wall or a post to attach it to. A fence picket is definitely not recommended. If you're mounting into a post, you'll want at least a 4x4 post that's mounted into a concrete footing, and stainless steel screws are recommended. Most transformers come in stainless steel, but some are offered in a finish that you can paint to match the surroundings. So that's just one more thing you want to keep in mind when you decide its location. Let's prep for the mounting. So it's easiest to do this next part before mounting the transformer, and the transformer should definitely not be plugged in at this point. Start by punching out the knockout in the bottom for the cable access. Then you'll need a terminal adapter, which goes through the knockout and is secured by a lock nut. With that in place, you can mount the transformer at your chosen location. By law, the bottom of the transformer has to be at least 12 inches above grade. But low to the ground is really difficult to work with, so we recommend you put somewhere around waist height or chest height. Once it's mounted, measure from the ground to the terminal adapter, then cut the conduit accordingly. Run the end of the wire through the conduit and into the transformer. Then put the conduit in place. Now your transformer is set. Once you're ready to connect the transformer, split the cable down the middle and strip off about 1 inch to reveal the copper. Now with LED lights nowadays, it usually doesn't technically matter which is your common and which is the hot, but it's a good idea to get in the habit of treating the wire with the writing on it as the common and the blank wire as lead. This is common practice in the industry and puts you in a good position should future technology have polarity requirements. So connect the wire with the writing on it to the COM or common, and the other will go to a terminal marked with a voltage number. Likely it will be between 12 and 15 volts, though you may have multiple options. Any should do. But if your run is on the longer side, go with 14 or 15 volts. Your transformer might have a slightly different way of securing the cable, but it shouldn't be difficult to figure out. On this one, you unscrew this little bit and insert the cable. Tighten it back down, and then just give it a little tug to make sure it's secure. And unscrew the tap that has the voltage marked above it. Insert the wire, tighten back down, and secure. And there you have it. Your transformer is all set to power your landscape lighting. Lighting Warehouse has the fixtures, lamps, and other accessories to make your landscape lighting dreams come true. Buy it all today on lightingwarehouse.com.